It's tutorial time. Hey everyone, welcome back. It occurred to me recently that I've never done a tutorial for a farm, and given that tree farms are probably my favourite farms to watch, it would be foolish to not show you how to make one. This one in front of me is extremely small and extremely simple, but its main asset is the fact that it doesn't need a player to place saplings. It does it itself using a cool bug discovered by Only 21. Without any further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is place down a block of dirt, and this is going to be where you're placing your sapling of choice. This tree farm works with 3 saplings: birch, spruce and jungle, and they'll just sit on top of this grass block. So first thing you want to do is just go up like this, and you want a ring of dirt. So you want to leave one block of air above the dirt block with your sapling, and then make a ring of dirt above that. Then go to this side, place a T shape of slime like so, a sticky piston here, dirt on these 3 blocks here, a sticky piston facing inwards like that, dirt here, 4 slime like this, and then a sticky piston back like this. And this looks a bit weird for the moment, but this will be extended just like so. So this is going to be your layout. You're also going to place a melon just there, and that will make sense soon. Then what you want to do is repeat this another 2 more times, alternating honey and slime. Okay, now you have this in place. You just want to go on top of your farm, and you want to make a solid 3x3 square of dirt, just like this. Then make a plus shape of dirt, another plus shape of dirt, then 1, 2, 3 blocks of dirt on top, just like that. Then go over here and place regular pistons facing the opposite direction to these sticky pistons here. So you want an air gap in between both of them, and then facing in opposite directions. And that is your layout completely done onto the wiring. So the first thing you want to do is come here and you want to place 3 logs going up like this. It doesn't matter what type these logs are, as long as they are there, and that's just going to make sure that all of the blocks that leaves are going to generate are indeed blocked, because otherwise this farm won't work. You want to come down here where this dirt block is, and towards the back where you've got your T shape of slime, place an observer like this and a block on the dot like that. Go diagonally down and back again, place some dust on top, 2 blocks like this, dust here, a repeater on 3 ticks delay here, a block up like this, a block to the right with dust on it, and a block towards the front of the dust. Then place a block here, put a repeater on that block on 1 tick delay, place a block here, a block down like this, dust on both of those, a block here, dust like this, and then glass on top. It doesn't have to be glass, in a matter of fact. It could be a slab, as long as it allows this dust to just travel like this. Place a torch just here, place a block like this in front of the torch, and a block in front of that piston, and place dust on that block there. Then place 3 blocks like this on top of the entire arrangement with dust on all of them. So that's going to power all of these sticky pistons on the side, and they should all be extended. Now come over this side again where you've got your observer, place a block up like this, block to the left, 3 tick delay repeater on that block, again pointing towards the left, a block up like this, dust on that block, and hold that there for the moment. We're just going to go to this section where you've got 3 pistons like this, place a block down like this, dust on top, a block above that dust, and dust on top of that block like this. It should be block, dust, just like so. Place another block here with dust on top, place a melon here with dust on top, and then just place a block here. This can be any block you really want, it can be glass or whatever, as long as it supports scaffolding. So that's what you're going to do. You can place scaffolding here, scaffolding to the right, and then dust on top of that scaffolding, just like this. Place a block here and dust on that block there, and that's just going to connect all of our modules together. So as you see, when we activate this observer, everything is going to fire, and that is going to be what moves our logs out towards the actual collection facility of the farm. Now, if you want to use bone meal for this farm, which I did in the intro of this video, then follow along now. If you don't want to use bone meal and you want to use natural growth for your tree, then follow the timestamps in the description to skip past this section, because that's what I'm going to do now. First, get a dispenser and place it just here, next to that observer facing into this dirt block, like that. Place a dropper facing towards the back, like so. Place a sticky piston, like that. A block here, and a lever on that block. So when you flick that lever, it should power that piston and move the dropper to this dispenser. Okay, you want to come over here and you want to place a torch like this. It should turn off. Then place a sticky piston here, a redstone block on the face of that sticky piston, and 2 blocks like this with dust on them. So that should produce a clock, and it should start extending back and forth very, very quickly. Then place an observer like this. This is going to fire extremely quickly. This is the fastest clock in Bedrock Edition at a 4 game tick cycle. Very nice. Now place the lever here, and this lever is just going to make sure that you're able to toggle that clock in case you don't want it to be really, really noisy. So we're just going to leave that off or on for the time being. And then we're going to get 2 hoppers. Place 1 hopper facing into that dropper there, another hopper facing into that other hopper, and then place 2 chests like this, a hopper on top of that chest, and 2 more chests. This is just a rudimentary bone meal storage. It can really be anything that you have here. I just set that up as the most basic option, but you could also link it up to a bone meal farm, and I'll talk about that in the outro in case you want to do that. And that is your growth setup. So your bone meal will go in these chests, it will go into this dropper, and this clock will be constantly activating, and as soon as you extend this piston, the bone meal from this dropper is going to go into this dispenser and then fire, which will bone meal the sapling that is here. So of course what you can do now is just go in here and place your sapling. I'm going to be using spruce because it's personally my favourite tree. It can also be birch, and it can also be jungle, depending on your needs. Unfortunately, it can't handle oak because of the fact that oak can grow really, really big, and currently we haven't found a way to restrict the growth of oak and block all of its leaf spots, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure someone will get there before too long. So I think we're ready to give this a test, don't you? So we got the sapling in there. We need to activate this clock. I'm going to flick this lever on, and that's going to start bone mealing. And as you can see, the logs are being pushed through. Now, for someone who's been watching tree farms for a very long time, this looks completely impossible. And as I say, the reason why it works is that we're blocking all of the potential spots where leaves can generate, and that causes the bottom log to transform back into a sapling immediately. And if I just take a quick voice down here, you can see that this looks like a log, but that is actually visual. It's not actually a log, that is indeed a sapling, which is part of the magic of this farm. So a few quick things to note before you dash off and build this in your worlds is that, as I mentioned, it needs a ridiculous bone meal farm to sustain it. So what I'd recommend is going to Navy Nexus's channel, searching up some sort of zero tick sugarcane farm, whichever one really suits your needs, and just hook that up to a composter, which will give you a little bit of bone meal. It will take quite a while to get 576 bone meal, which is, of course, the amount of bone meal that can fit in a dropper or a dispenser. But if you can AFK for an afternoon or something, then that will definitely be a great option. Of course, check for the materials list in the description. There are quite a lot of occasions here where there are alternatives for what I have done in the video that can be replaced with other things. For example, the melons can be replaced by pumpkins. The scaffolding setup can be replaced with a jukebox, things like that, but I did try to optimize it to make it as cheap as possible, because that is usually something with tree farms don't necessarily boast. But all in all, I'm extremely happy with this design. I spent like an afternoon designing it, and I was extremely fascinated with the way that it works and the way that it looks. It's only 6 blocks wide, which, for all intents and purposes, is a small tree farm, let alone playerless, which means it's very easy to build and to remember how to build, so you don't necessarily need to refer back to the tutorial if you memorize it. All relevant links will be in the description below, of course. I'll link Only21's channel and video, who was the person who discovered the bug that makes this farm work. Unfortunately, that's all I've got time for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.